Next, we're going to look at how to capture media with your mobile devices, specifically iPods and iPhones. So to do that well, there's a couple of different principles that we want to look at together. First off is very simple. When you're shooting with your iPhone or any other mobile device, you'd never want to shoot vertically. You always want to shoot horizontally. Every time we play a video on the internet, it plays horizontally. Next is we want to make sure that when we're shooting, we shoot in widescreen. Now, the devices already are shooting 720p or a widescreen format. But the trick is that you don't see it. You only see, when you open the camera app, you only see what's a 3x4 representation of the camera. So what we want to do is do a double tap, and that sets it to go widescreen. So you don't miss, when you're framing your shots, any of the parts to the left and to the right of the main picture. So one of the other aspects besides shooting widescreen is that we want to do headshots. In using a mobile device like this, most of us don't yet have the proper ability to get our mics for a cardioid handheld mic or shotgun mics or other things directly into the iPods or iPhones. So getting up close, getting a headshot that is something like a medium shot, that will allow your audio to be good enough. Another thing we want to do is we want to make sure that your shot is focused. Now that's obvious. There is an automatic focus on an iPhone and iPod, but the trick is that it doesn't always know where you want to focus. So what you want to do is to, for example here, I'm focusing on this plant, right? So to focus on it, you simply click and hold on the subject, on what you want them to see. It does two things at the same time when you do that. It focuses the lens so that it's sharp and clear, not blurry, but it also adjusts the exposure in the standard iPhone app. Exposure is really critical. So we want to make sure that exposure is done well. To do that, there's an app that I recommend that's free, that's called Canopy, C-A-N-O-P-Y. There's both white balance control and exposure. And so when you click and hold on it, you're able to lock in exposure and focus separately. An automatic focus generally wanders. It won't stay the same thing as when you set it at the beginning of the shot. So if your subject moves, you're going to have to keep dealing with the change of focus. Unless you use Canopy or another app where you can control the focus, you have to be able to watch out for the movement in your shot. One of the other things that you want to look at with shooting with your mobile device is securing your device. There's iPod tripod mounts. They're about $7 on eBay, something thereabouts. And you can have a clip that you can adapt to a tripod. So with this, here's another thing that we can do with our mobile devices is we can shoot using an improvised teleprompter. So as the person is being shot with the one device, the other device starts to play what they're reading. Now if you've scripted out your story, this is ideal. You could be on scene reporting your story, and you can see the words and not have to simply improvise off the top of your head, but to have a very clear, well thought out presentation of the story. If you've had time to script it, this is great. So this is something you could do with the bracket here, and then iPod clips, iPod tripod clips. All right. So that's one way to get your device secured, is by having a stand. Another thing I wanted to touch on very briefly about securing things is you also want to be secure yourself in shooting. Had a funny story when we were I was with a team in Costa Rica, and we were shooting about children. We were shooting a video about children at risk. And so to get the footage, we went into a pretty dangerous neighborhood where our local contacts had the trust of the local drug dealers and the different people that were there normally in this slum. And so as we went in, they warned us to be very careful with all of our devices, keep everything hidden away. And we shot our footage, everything was great. We're on our way out, and I asked one of the contacts, I said, would it be all right if I had a little device that I was able to hide in my shirt. And I thought, wow, maybe I could just get a little shot down the street, get an establishing shot of what we're reporting on. And they said, oh, that'll be fine. And so I was able to do that well and get it well concealed. Well, the guy behind me thought it was a great idea, but he had a much larger camera. And so his camera, sitting inside of his shirt sleeve, you basically could see this big lens like you know, a Terminator looking at you through his shirt sleeve, right? And so we start walking down the street, and pretty soon there's a whistle from one of the drug dealers, and they're like, hey, camera, you know, and our contact says, keep walking quickly. And we walk, head towards that way. She, at her own risk, goes and talks and makes peace with this drug dealer and assures him that this is not going to end up on the local news, and so therefore he doesn't have to shoot us. These kind of things, just be wise with your device. It is an attractive device for theft. It's also something that people might want to hurt you for. So be wise with how you handle it. Secure it with your case, but secure it with your brain. All right? And to make things steady, there's another couple of things that I'd like to touch on real quick, is that we can also use other simple do-it-yourself items to make shots go easy. Velcro is a great little tool for a lightweight camera like an iPod. I was able to shoot some time-lapse photography in a car by just simply clipping this onto a rear view mirror, onto the vanity mirror, and then connect that. In shooting with an iPod, there's one limitation, is that every time you're shooting video with the standard iPhone app, it always does a bit of a crop and zoom. So what you would normally see, the field of view, here becomes something more about here. It's a decision that was made to make things better, because close-up shots are generally very good. However, sometimes you're in a crowd or you're in a tight space and you really want a widescreen shot. Well, there's another app that's recently come out called Multicorder, and it doesn't work with every single iPod, but the more recent ones and the more recent iPhones, you can use Multicorder and be able to regain that wide aspect ratio, and it can also switch between the two cameras on the fly without stopping recording. So you could be shooting yourself doing something like a stand-up if you had a bracket and stuff, and then switch to showing the scene that you've been describing on the fly. As well as a few other devices, it can turn on the light at will in the middle of a shot if things go dark. Different things like that. Multicorder costs $3 right now on the App Store. There's so many apps out there, but spend your time, rather than playing with everything and trying to just simply augment its ability, learn how to get the steady shots. Learn how to get good exposure. Learn how to do things in such a way that your subject's voice is heard, that the issue that you're covering is reported on well, and you're not letting technology get too much in the way. That's my advice. So let's have fun, and we're going to go to some exercises to learn how to do that now.